Do you want to steal something with me? Because every time I walk out of a heist film, all I can do is think about how much I want to steal stuff. And it probably wouldn't work out for me because I would have this incredible need to vlog as I'm stealing things and then post it on YouTube, just to see if I could maybe get more hits on a video if I was actively committing theft while vlogging. What do you think? Would more people watch my videos then? Maybe only one way to find out. I just went and saw Ocean's 8. I highly recommend this film. I will put in the caveat that I am a heist film fan. I love capers like this. I especially love the final reveal. I really like the twists that come along the way, and I've always enjoyed the planning in heist films. It's part of the reason that the Fast and Furious franchise has always been a huge favorite of mine, is because a lot of them are heist-based films. And clearly I've enjoyed all the other Ocean's films, and I like The Italian Job, and I love The Sting. That sort of con heist film is a favorite of mine. With that out of the way, even if I wasn't a huge heist film fan, this film is fantastically put together. I think that it has a very good flow overall. It keeps you engaged. It has nice pacing. It has a great final turn, which we'll get to later. And I'll admit, this is probably the most important thing. It's a female-led film where that isn't necessarily important. It is the same sort of film that it could have been, no matter who was cast in it, but with subtle things that make it important that it is a film starring women, that it is a heist done by women. They do things that a man just simply couldn't do or get away with. And I really liked that because it's not a female version of the Ocean's films, in that it's not like they took Ocean's 11 and just put women in the role. They created a world around it that's very centered on the fact that they are women. And I think that that's important, but it also didn't make it the most important factor. It's just an acknowledgement that they were the right people for this job, and I really liked that. Now's the part where we're gonna get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, what are you waiting for? Definitely go see this and then come back to me and let's have a discussion about it. As I mentioned, one of my favorite things is that they have created this world where women are the ones who are gonna run this game and where it becomes necessary. So the main character, who is Danny Ocean, who's George Clooney's character in the original set of Oceans, his sister, played by Sandra Bullock, is getting out of jail. And she's already been running a con in jail, which you learn almost immediately. It's very clear that she never gave up on life. She gives this very heartfelt speech in her parole hearing that you immediately know is not true. And when she gets out, she's ready to plan this crazy heist. And they are going to rob the Met Gala. And the beauty of this is that that place is so driven by the women who are there. If you've ever watched it on TV, you know that it's always interviewing the women, talking to them about their dresses, mostly, which is unfortunate instead of, their talent. But it's who you're wearing, who you're coming with, that sort of thing. And it's a world full of women, basically. And it requires an entrance into things that are traditionally female, and I liked that. They build themselves a team that involve a lot of incredible actresses. I'm sure you've seen the cast list for this film, but it's ridiculous. So you have Cate Blanchett, who plays Lou, who is basically like Debbie's partner from way back in the day. It's clear that they've run cons together forever, and she's tough talking and it's got her leather jacket on. I really like this character. She's really fun, and I would love to see what she's been doing for the last 5 years while Miss Ocean was in jail. You also have Awkwafina playing this great little thief, pickpocket. She's really fun. Rihanna playing a hacker who is one of the coolest people on the crew for sure. Helena Bonham Carter being a little bit neurotic, which is kind of her status as of late as an actual fashion designer that they then work into their con. And I thought that that was really cool too. And one of the things that really drew me to this is that she is an actual fashion designer. Mindy Kaling is an actual jeweler, and they take them in to be part of this con using skills that are their skills in real life, which I thought was really neat. And then their mark is Anne Hathaway, and it's just beautifully built around this world where you're getting information on the Met Gala. You're also getting a look at how ridiculous the sort of paparazzi is around that, and the reporting and the way that people talk about the women at the show, like, who are you wearing and what are you going to wear? And they really amped that up, and I really liked that because it's kind of a cynical look at that sort of thing. And just the way that they addressed all of that in general was nice. And then there's a bit in the film that is one of my favorite moments where they are trying to find, they need one other person and they're looking through a book. Cate Blanchett suggests this guy, Lou, I guess, and Debbie goes, no, not him. She's like, why? Because it's him. She's like, yeah, but it's a him or it's him? No, it's just a him. I don't want a him. She's like, why not? She said, because he will get seen and a woman will not. And right now, the best thing is to be invisible. And I thought that that single line spoke volumes about the truth of the matter when it comes to that. Even though you're taking 100 pictures of these celebrities in interviews, you're not asking them about themselves. If they're not super famous and they're at the Met Gala, you probably didn't even notice them. It's really true. And so her comment about wanting to be invisible, I thought really struck at the heart of the matter. And just in general, I enjoyed the dynamics between them and the way that things sort of flowed. They pull off the heist with great flair. I always love something that's a little flashy, and it's fun to watch the planning and then the heist come together. But I'm always waiting for my favorite part, which is the final reveal. And they actually bump a couple of things in here. But before I get to the final reveal, we're going to talk about my favorite character reveal. And that is the delicious surprise that was James Corden. And I don't know if I just hadn't paid attention or if he wasn't probably advertised in the trailers, but James Corden appears as the insurance adjuster who apparently has had run-ins with the Ocean family in the past. And he's so wonderful. I really like James Corden, and the way that he plays his character in this is just great. I could use a delicious James Corden surprise in any film you'd like to throw him in, Hollywood. Please do. It was really fun, and I liked his dynamic with Debbie, and I liked the way that he played everything off, and also the idea of the insurance claimsman and how he played up how insurance people don't like to pay out. So the final reveal, they frame the gentleman who framed Debbie and put her in jail. And you think that now they're off scot-free, and then they reveal that Anne Hathaway's character actually ended up being in on it because she'd started to figure out that there was something going on. She's a lot smarter than she looks. She has one of my favorite lines where they're like, why did you do this? And she goes, well, I just don't really have a lot of female friends. And I thought that that was kind of sad, but a great way to start a heist. But then they framed him, given him all this money, and this is the point where Rihanna's character, Nineball, goes, but if you only sold those jewels for this much, then how are we going to get paid? And it is revealed that while everyone was freaking out about the necklace, they had done their own heist to steal all of the rest of the royal jewels that were in the display. And so they're actually getting away with way more money than they thought. It's those twists that I really love. And it was well done, very seamless, and I enjoyed all of those moments. Another favorite line of mine is as they're getting ready to start the heist. Debbie's giving this speech. She's in the mirror getting herself ready, and she goes, just remember, you know, no matter how this turns out, you're not doing this for me, and you're not doing this for you. But out there somewhere is an 8-year-old girl who's dreaming of being a criminal. Let's do this for her. And I was thinking, I mean, probably there is, and I appreciate you doing this for her. Show her that women can be criminals too. Maybe not the greatest role model, but I like the variety of roles. And so overall, I liked this film from start to finish, and I enjoyed the narrative. I'm going to give it 5 stars, and I'm going to highly recommend that you go to it. And before I finish, I want to talk about one other brief thing, and that is that I am enjoying the way that roles for women and films starring women and female roles in other films are really starting to open up in Hollywood. And I actually think that there is a driving force moving forward with this. And I'm talking about more than doing something like Ocean's 8, where it's a built franchise that you're putting women in, or Ghostbusters. There was a trailer at the beginning of this film for a film called Peppermint. Go watch this trailer if you haven't seen it already. I'll link to one of the versions of it down there in the notes. And it is basically a Punisher-like story, except it stars Jennifer Garner. Why didn't this exist before? I have no idea. It's a tried and true storyline, but it's not hopping onto a franchise. It's its own film. It looks awesome, action-packed, super fun, and starring a woman. Not because it needs to, but just because why the heck shouldn't it star a woman? And I really like that. That's what I'd like in the future, Hollywood. Why the heck shouldn't it just star an Asian person? Why shouldn't it just star a black person? Why shouldn't it star a woman? Why shouldn't it star someone transgender? The answer is, it should. Get on it. I'll see you tomorrow.